But I thought about you, and I thought about a lot of the old, the TJ Langs and the guys that are, John Kuhn, who obviously works for the team. It's like you guys are very tight with Aaron in that era, pretty much, of the Packers. And I know the Packers is one of the most established teams in the history of sports, let alone in the NFL. And Curly Lambeau did a hell of a job kind of setting this entire thing.
He did.
Crushed it.
On the right trajectory in that beautiful town of Green Bay. But do you guys feel a sense of like, this is a different Packers now, like a different era, different run? Do you feel a little more separated to the Packers than maybe you were at one point whenever the guy who was quarterback when you were there was still there? That's a real question.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's definitely something that I felt like once Aaron said publicly that he wants to go to the Jets, and then once it was official and he did go to the Jets, and hey, here we go, Jordan Love, I think I came on here and I instantly started asking, like, what does that facility feel like every morning going into OTAs and stuff? It would just be a different feel. It really would. Not knowing that, even though Aaron wasn't there a bunch during OTAs anyway, later on, it still is a different feeling knowing he's not our quarterback. Like, we have a new guy stepping in when he's been, how many years did Aaron start there? 16? I don't know.
16, 17.
Yeah, like it's just, it is a different era. It's definitely a different era there, for sure.
25 years, 30 years. See, that's what we would do. Yeah. That would be the taking it too far, not believing
30, 35.
Those first 15 to 20, anybody would have said, been like,
Even like 23.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Sure.
Fuck, it's a long time.
Yeah,
but
makes sense.
That seems like really long. But
gray hair.
I'm talking about you, though, specifically, and like the alumni to the Packers. And you say we, what's the building feel like? I don't know if you're referring to as like alumni of Packers or if you're talking about in building of Packers, but I'm talking about you specifically. All-time leading tackler for the team.
Yeah, big deal.
How do you know what I mean? Do you still feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since I was there, obviously, but having Aaron there definitely gave me you felt like a connection to the team because he's the guy running the show. He's the quarterback. Now, there's definitely other people still around, not many players that were there when I was, but coaches, not even coaches. Coaches are all pretty much gone that were there when I was, but it's like we talk about trainers, equipment people. Those are the people that kind of keep me connected, I feel like.
So that's who I talked to with the Colts as well. Now, granted, I had to pay a lot of money to have a suite in the stadium, and I watched the game, and we cover the NFL, and we're in Indianapolis, so naturally we're going to have a connection to the Colts. But it's like all the coaches and players, whenever I was there, aside from a couple, are no longer there, but I still feel a little bit of a connection to the building.
Yeah.
I'm saying, do you feel like you lost your connection to the building? No, doesn't feel like it.
No, I didn't lose my connection to the building, but no, it definitely feels like it will. Maybe when the season comes, I'll feel more removed from the team when I'm watching them play.
So, like at West Virginia, for instance, they kind of wanted our era to fucking,
Yeah, similar to the Colts.
They go to the Big
Why?
12.
There's no way, though. Why?
Because they went to the Big 12. We were in the Big East. It was a new AD, new
Does anybody
coach.
care about what you're in?
In real life, no. But like whenever you're talking about egos and legacies and everything like that, they wanted the people that were in charge then are going to say that's not the case.
You guys put them on the map. You guys put West Virginia on the map. That era.
We know. We know.
Yeah.
We very much
well aware.
We very much understand
They
that.
don't.
We saw the place whenever we got there. When I got there, I couldn't even imagine when Pat got there 3 years earlier. We saw the place and then what it is now because of some things that happened. But it was very apparent, and not by the way they treated me. Fuck, I was just the kicker, punter, all-time leading scorer at the school, All-American a couple times. I did miss 2 kicks in the first quarter, I guess. But yeah, you fucking get it. 2 sports, 2 different positions, All-American, whatever. Fuck off. No.
Yeah.
No big deal. Yeah. But the other players there I was lucky to be teammates with actually did all that shit. I just got to ride coattails, kick a lot of extra points, and kind of maybe flip the field every once in a while if they weren't able to get a first down, which was very rare. So I'm not saying I was a part of it, but the way like our guys were treated, like Steve, Pat, Owen, Darius, Reed, you name it, just like all the guys that were at the top, it wasn't like hey, we need you back in the building. It was almost like, hey, we're going in a different direction. And then whenever they're putting posters up around the stadium, it was like the big posters were the new stars, the Big 12 guys. And like Pat and Steve basically weren't even kind of seen in it all because they wanted to kind of redo their entire like, hey, we did this, as opposed to living in the past all the time, which makes no sense in reality, in real life. But decisions were made. That was the outcome. And now we're kind of all getting back together. Let's make this whole thing good again, which is good. We're kind of figuring. But at the Colts, new GM, new coach, they fucking painted over the wall in the building.
Why?
Painted over the mural of all the Unitas got his face fucking.
Yeah, that's nuts.
You know what I mean? Like that happened whenever the new GM and new coach came in, and it was like this is a whole new team, whole new vision. It's like, yo, a lot of great history here.
Yeah.
I just hope that the Green Bay Packers don't do the same, is what I'm kind of iterating at. Like, yo, just because Aaron left and we are obviously fans and we would hope at this stage good friends of Aaron Rodgers, would like the Packers legends to still feel, you know what I mean? Like you, for instance, like this guy's the all-time leading tackler for the fucking team. Like, would like you to still feel connected, I think. And that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, connected and appreciated. Yeah, I think the teams, I don't get it because the guys before had to build up something to get where we at. You get what I'm saying? I will say this. Cincinnati does a great job of putting players up so you can remember, oh, yeah, this dude here, it was the all-time punt return record, Adam Jones. Then they got all the Pro Bowls and stuff up. But like you said, a big thing is the trainers because the trainer and equipment people pretty much going to be there for a long time. So I always keep in contact with those guys. But I think as big organization, they need to do better of honoring.
I think a lot of places do.
Yeah.
I think it's like any place of work. If somebody was to accomplish great things there or do something for your business, you would hope that when that person comes back, is welcomed into the business. Now, not other businesses, and I know professional sports are vastly different than sales or anything else that could happen. There's turnover at the top, though, more often. Now, the great places don't have that happen, and we'll dive into that here in about 35 seconds as we finish this thought here. But, like, I just hope that you guys are all still welcome back, even though this has become a pretty public thing, because I've seen it at other places, and it's not cool. You know, it's like not a cool thing. I hope you all get to a game. I hope the Packers organization remains in contact with all the ex-greats because you guys have done fantastic things. And we're just now learning that you could not beat the curse of not having a parade after winning the Super Bowl. So there's nothing you guys could have done any better. Your arrow was great. Aaron's arrow was fantastic. Now we move into the next one. Let's go shake their hunts.